On a windy, sunny Sunday, June 14th, I'm gonna do a little garden tour, and I'm gonna start off right here with our latest addition on our homestead here at St. Isidore Farms, and that's our grow tunnel. My son and I spent quite some time in April and May building this more unique style grow tunnel. And so we have a setup of 4 raised garden boxes, and then we used poly pipe that we had laying here, left behind by previous owners, to build hoops so that we can actually cover it with plastic and make it nice and hot in here. And so our first box here that we're starting off, you can see we are growing beautiful peppers. We have tangerine peppers, we've got sweet chocolate bell pepper, we've got Jimmy Nardellos, we've got some jalapeno, and some yellow hot pepper. My daughter likes flowers, so we got a pot with some flower seed. Zinnia, I believe she said. Then of course we have our tomatoes, and this is our harvest for the summer and fall. This box has a variety called the Subarctic Plenty, especially bred and grown for the area of the prairies here in Canada. My daughter planted some parsley in the back, and you can see there's some parsley coming up finally. Then our next box, the tomatoes on this side are good for salads. These are tiny little yellow pear tomatoes, very tasty, nice and sweet. Then I have on this table some seedlings, so we're trying to get some spaghetti squash growing. We've tried to get a couple of seed snails with corn, and we have some pots with corn, but the pots really are not doing too well. Last box with our peppers in it are our Roma tomatoes. I think I said peppers, but it's tomatoes. So these Roma tomatoes are going to give us lots of pasta sauce. So that's our grow tunnel. Now we'll walk over to our main garden. Here we have our trellis, and last year we had our scarlet runner beans on this trellis that we made, but this year we're trying to do cucumber instead. So they are supposed to have germinated, so there's a few that are out there. We also have them on this side right here. We can see the germinated ones. So here we have a box where I have no idea what the ladies actually put in here. It's always their prerogative to plant the seedlings and seeds. This box, of course, is our cauliflower and broccoli, and you can see that my son and I have been working on building a covering for it so we can keep the cabbage worms out of them. Then here another bed where we see some seedlings coming up. No idea what this is. Again, could be the cabbage one. So you can see that we had made a prior video about the construction of that hoop, but we're going to put a hoop on this bin, the last bin, and the first one on that side. So there's going to be 4 of them. Here we have our bin with our peas, which have germinated quite well, so things are looking really good for that. This is our box that we have filled up with cucumber, so that's all looking very nice, a lot of germination. Then we have our zucchini box, and we can see there's quite a bit that germinated on this side of the box. On the right side of the box we see that germination did not take place too well. Again, we have a box here which I think is showing germination, but I have no idea what this is and what they planned in here. So we'll have to see. Then seedlings that we grew in the house and started off are these muskmelons, and some of them are definitely taking off quite nicely, so we're quite happy with that. Then we have a section here where we have some watermelon plants, also seedlings. Some are hanging on, others have had a harder time and are dying off and are not doing so well. In here we have the right side of our box, our leftover tomatoes that didn't make it into our grow tunnel, and so hopefully we can use those. Then here we have purple beans that we wanted to plant, and here we have our scarlet runner beans this year. So we got 3 towers full. Here are onions in this box. It's also looking very nice. And in the last box here, I think we have kale planted to seed, and we have created Brussels sprouts. So that's what we are dealing with here in our garden boxes. That was our first set of garden boxes. Now the centerpiece here we've worked up. This is where we hope to plant some corn and some squash, either spaghetti, butternut, maybe both. We'll see what germinates. Right now I think spaghetti squash is the only thing that's germinating. So that's what's in the seed snails inside the grow tunnel, and hopefully they're going to be in here soon, and then we hope for a successful harvest. So on this side, the 12 raised planted boxes we built last year, we have now claimed these 12 and placed potatoes in them. And we can see that there is lots of growth from the potatoes that we planted. This was late May. Winter was really slow to leave, and so until May 17th we had cold and snow and things weren't so great. So we fixed up our boxes and prepared them, and in one day we were able to plant all our potatoes. And everything is looking quite spectacular potato wise in these boxes. This year we also picked up a few bigger plants. These are cherries, because we want to see if we can get some cherries going. Here's the second, and there's the third. I think they're called Juliet. Then we got some blueberry bushes, so hopefully these blueberry bushes can take hold and do well. And of course more boxes with potatoes. This area we planted full with beans this year. So we have regular green beans that we're going to be eating. We have navy beans. We've got kidney beans, black turtle, and even a row of chickpeas. So we can see definitely that things are coming up. You can see our beans germinating. And of course in some rows it's going a lot better. But lots of growth. So we should have hopefully a good harvest in the fall. for our bean supply this winter, because we like to eat beans with our fish on Fridays. Now we have one section here in the ground that we also put our potatoes in. We can see there's a few potato plants right here on the side, and then we got the nicer soil area. So things are looking good and things are growing. And here's a loose potato. I'll put them in. You never know what happens yet. So that's our garden here, doing really well. And we hope to have lots of success, even though this year started off very late. Like I said, we had snow until May 17th. So as I close the gate here behind me, I'm going to show you one last part before closing off this video. So right here beside our garden that's fenced in, I claimed a little piece and tilled it over, and I'm hoping to put a couple of more rows of potatoes in. These are potatoes that were on sale, seed potatoes, and hopefully we can get some different varieties than the standard ones, the Russell and the red potatoes that we normally have. So I'm looking forward to seeing some Yukon Gold and a potato variety called Jazzy. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with us on our homestead, and we look forward to showing you more in the future in other videos. So again, thank you for watching. Take care for now. Bye bye.